Oh my God, guys. Breaking news. You ready for this? You ready for this? Listen. Breaking news. Good teams are interested in good players. Listen, that is my least favorite thing about every single NBA offseason. Every time you got a star available, you always hear reports. The Lakers are interested. The Heat are interested. The Knicks are interested. Yeah, no shit. He's a good player. Who wouldn't want them? Obviously, the main guy I'm talking about right now is Donovan Mitchell. You had a report come out a couple days ago from Brian Windhorst. Yes, this Brian Windhorst. So let me not discredit him. He knows a little bit. But he said the Lakers and Nets are apparently prepared to offer something for Donovan Mitchell if he becomes available. Now, that's a big if. I mean, I think we'll really know if Mitchell is truly available once he's eligible to sign his extension. I think it's July 1st. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but it's like within a month. It's like in about a month or so. Anyways, if that day comes and Mitchell does not sign his extension, well, then sharpen the harpoons, as my boy Brendan Tobin would say, because we about to go whale hunting. And obviously, if Mitchell does become available, again, still a big if, because he was even calling a cap on all these reporters saying he wants out. And apparently he told Wojnarowski that he loves it in Cleveland. Do I trust Woj? No, he's a snake. He's a lying, dirty snake. I have a whole video about it too. Him and Bill Simmons. Y'all should go check it out. But anyways, obviously, if Mitchell becomes available, there will be a lot of teams interested. That's why I wanted to react to this Bleacher Report article today. This one is from our guy, Andy Bailey. Y'all know the jit with the same name from Modern Family. We read some of his articles before. It's pretty decent stuff. And I wanted to react to this one because I posted a Donovan Mitchell trade package video the other day. I think it was for the Heat, and I think it was Tyler and Jaime and 3 first-round picks, right? I have a better version of that I might make another video about in the future, but today I kind of wanted to see what other teams can offer and how that stacks up to the Heat's assets. So this article is titled, New Donovan Mitchell Trade Packages for Lakers, Nets, and Teams with Offers Ready. So we'll skip past all that nonsense there and go to the first one, which is the Lakers take some pressure off LeBron and AD. In theory, makes a ton of sense, right? To get Mitchell over there. AD and LeBron were both relatively healthy last season. I don't know if that's sustainable, particularly for AD. And obviously at LeBron's age of 39, you'd like for him to not have to go balls to the walls in the regular season like he kind of had to just to make sure the Lakers could secure a play-in spot, right? So having a guy like Donovan Mitchell would obviously be huge for them. And he has the deal as Donovan Mitchell for Austin Reeves, Roy Hachimura, Jalen Hood-Schifino, a 2029 first, a 2030 first. Oh, just a swap? Oh, and then a 2031 first-round pick. So I guess it's Reeves, Hachimura, Hood-Schifino, and 2 first-round picks. The swaps are irrelevant. Every team could do that, right? So we'll probably skip past those when reading the rest of this. So I guess the headliner here is Austin Reeves, right? Is he better than Tyler Hero? Truthfully, I think it's debatable. I had someone ask me this the other day. It was my boy Will. Shout out to my boy Will. He's getting married in a week. But he asked if Jordan Poole was better than Tyler Hero. No. I think Tyler Hero is substantially better than Jordan Poole if we're talking about assets, right? Austin Reeves, I do think is more comparable. Both guys have had some playoff moments. Both guys can be inconsistent. And they're both white, I guess. I guess they have that going for them. No. But seriously, this package is something I think the Heat could get. Is this a great package for Donovan Mitchell? No, not really. Especially considering that Jalen Hood-Schifino has kind of been a little bit, not a bust. He was only a rookie last year, but he hasn't been great. Hasn't really showed anything too promising. He was picked like 1 pick ahead of Jaime Jaquez, I think. So if you're comparing assets, there's no doubt about it that Jaime Jaquez is obviously the better asset here. And since the Cavs gave up, Markkanen, Sexton, and 3 firsts for Donovan Mitchell, I do think they would be losing, a net loss here if they were to lose Donovan Mitchell. So while I love this trade for the Lakers, I don't think it's super great for the Cavs, and I think they could probably find better. The next one we have here is the Nets go all in again. Well, let's see what that means, because they don't have a lot of talent there. I can't see any scenario where they add Mitchell and can still compete. But he has the deal as Donovan Mitchell for Cam Johnson, Finney Smith, Cam Thomas, a 27 first, 28 first, and a 30 first. So not even Mikal Bridges, which I guess why would you want to trade for Donovan and lose Mikal? But I mean, Cam Johnson, great shooter. Don't get me wrong. Great player, right? He's fine. Not a future superstar. He's a future high-level role player similar to Tyler Hero, I think. Dorian Finney-Smith, someone that I like a lot. I'd love him on the Heat, but that's because he's a 3-and-D glue guy. Not a huge asset here. Cam Thomas is a guy that can score 40 points one night, 12 points the next night, and then 38 the next night, but on 40 shots. He's not someone I'm super high on. For as good of a scorer he is, he's not an elite knockdown shooter. Again, I don't want to keep comparing to Tyler Hero, but obviously from a Heat perspective, Hero's going to be the guy that headlines pretty much any package. And I even have the trade I was talking about earlier. I have a really nice trade cooked up where I sent Hero to a third team. It's the Orlando Magic. And in return, the Heat give a first-round pick back, which they can then ship to the Cavs. I think something like that might be more realistic. But I guess you could say the same thing for any of these guys, like if the Cavs don't want Cam Thomas, which, I mean, in theory, they could use a guy like that, right, to get some more buckets, especially if you keep DG to PG there and a lot of their big men. But I'm not super high on Cam Thomas. That's the point. So this package is fine. I do think it's still a net loss for the Cavs, which most of these I'd imagine are a net loss for the Cavs. I mean, you traded for Donovan Mitchell, and now you're trading him again. It's kind of hard to recoup all those assets, especially when you consider his trade value was higher last time because he had more years on his deal, right? Now he has a player option 2 year, or not this season, the year after that, which if he declines, that kind of means that Mitchell is acting as an expiring contract going into next season. And when you ever have an expiring contract for a good player, their value is obviously not as high because teams trading for that asset are scared they might walk in a year. But I mean, the three first round picks here is fine, Cam Johnson, but I don't think this is a package that the Heat can beat again. Next, we do have the Miami Heat here. He says the Heat bet on the culture, and they have Donovan Mitchell coming over for Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, and 2 first-round picks. I would do this deal so fast because I don't want to run it back. And truthfully, the only way that I really see some sort of huge shakeup is Donovan Mitchell. Maybe Trae Young, which I actually am into. We'll talk about that a whole other video too. But you have to give to get. That's really the main message here, right? Too many Heat fans are like, oh, but Nikola Jovic is going to be really good in 5 years. I don't care about that. If you're going to keep Jimmy Butler, you got to build around his timeline. Don't try to half-ass it and bridge the win now versus build for the future timeline because you can't do it. It doesn't work. If you prefer to build for the future, maybe build around Bam Adebayo, then okay, let's keep Jaime, let's keep Jovic, but then you got to trade Jimmy because I don't want to half-ass it. I want to go all in, as I think it was saying about the Nets earlier. This will be all in for the Heat because this is all of their assets. And again, maybe the Cavs could flip Hero to a third team here. I like the Magic for them because they have a lot of salary filler and picks. And then you're looking at the Cavs here getting 3 first-round picks, Jaime, Jovic. When they traded, initially, they traded Sexton, who wasn't looked at as a super great player, right? He was decent, but had a lot of injury problems. And Lauri Markkanen, nobody thought Lauri Markkanen was going to turn into the all-star that he is today, right? But he was looked at as a decent player. I do think Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic are decent prospects. And then if they flip Hero for a first-round pick, they get their 3 first-round picks back. I don't think I'm being biased, but I do think that's a way that the Nets or the Cavs could kind of recoup most of the assets they gave up for Donovan Mitchell. And now you got 2 really nice young guys to build around, especially since they're looking to trade Jared Allen anyways. Evan Mobley's very good on the interior, can stretch the floor, but it's not his game. So if you were to pair him with Nikola Jovic, a guy who is a knockdown sniper, I think that fit is very well. And that team has had a hole at the 3 forever. They try to plug and play Isaac Okoro. He's not great. They try to plug and play Karis LeVert. He is the definition inconsistent. I do think there could be an immediate fit for Jaime Jaquez in that starting lineup. Of course, both those guys fit the timeline with everyone else. I like that package for the Cavs. So that's my spiel to try to hype up our assets. And as a Heat fan, trust me, don't think twice. Donovan Mitchell is worth it. Fit-wise, age-wise, scoring-wise, everything, right? He is the perfect fit on this Miami Heat team. And if anything, he would help win now and the future. I know you say you can't bridge it, but he would kind of help because he is that good right now, and he's still pretty young. Obviously, very good friends with Bam Adebayo, so you get rid of those young guys to keep Bam happy. I think that alone makes it worth it as well, right? Because Bam's up for an extension too. Who's to say Bam doesn't want to sign his extension? Bam says, I tried to get you my guy KD. You couldn't do it. Tried to get you my friend Damian Lillard. You couldn't do it. If you get Donovan Mitchell, I think you make Bam very happy as well. Oh, speaking of the Orlando Magic, the next one he has here is the Magic speed up the timeline. Donovan Mitchell going for Anthony Black, Jett Howard, and 4 first-round picks. Now, Anthony Black is a guy going into the draft I liked a lot. Got some run the rookie season. I'm not super familiar with how he played, but I still think he's a fine player. I do know Jett Howard, my guy, because he's Juwan Howard's son, I think, or nephew, something like that. I think it's his son. Very good shooter in college. Came to the NBA, was pretty bad for the Magic, got sent down to the G League, wasn't great either, but I do believe he had a little bit of a resurgence in the second half of the season. But again, when you got a shooter like that, there will always be value for him in the league, especially since both those guys, Black and Howard, are so young. And obviously the 4 first-round picks here. It would be a team like the Magic or the Knicks who have a ton of picks, or even the Spurs, that could really entice the Cavs with those picks. But do the Cavs want picks? I mean, like I said, they still got Mitchell. They still got Mobley. They've been competitive. Maybe they want to still try to be competitive. So maybe they would prefer the more ready assets like a Jaime Jaquez or Nikola Jovic. That would be interesting to see. But overall, I think this is a good package. I'm not going to lie to you. And for the Magic, God, that team would be scary. We just saw what Mitchell did to the Magic in the playoffs. 50 points that one game, scored all the team's fourth quarter points. That would be an amazing big three of Franz Wagner, Baccaro, and Donovan Mitchell. Woo! If I'm the Magic, I would pull the trigger on that. That would be a very good team. I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, that's the last team. He only got 4 teams here. I was wondering to see if he would include the Knicks on here, just because the Knicks certainly have the assets, because they traded Barrett and Quickly for Anunoby. They didn't even trade any picks. So they had 100 first-round picks, traded none of them to get Anunoby. And then they got Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks and only traded second-round picks for those guys. And when that stuff was happening last year, I was like, damn, the Knicks got a lot better in the trade market and kept most of their assets. That scares me, because obviously they will be big threats to anybody that comes available in this offseason. But just with the Donovan Mitchell fit-wise, I don't think it works great. Him, Brunson, both very small, both very ball dominant. Neither one, I don't think, is spectacular off the ball. They certainly could shoot, but that you want those guys mostly driving and kind of creating their own shots there. So I could see the Knicks wanting to kind of stray away from that. But we'll see how their season ends. Their season just got forced to a Game 7 yesterday. So I knew it, though. The Knicks showed up in all black to the Pacers game. That's a guaranteed out. These teams never learn. Anyways, let me know what y'all think down below. Do you like any of these packages? Do you think the Heats could beat the packages that you're seeing here today? And if you are a Heat fan, let me know if you would give up the whole farm for Donovan Mitchell, because I would. But I do appreciate all the support. Make sure y'all check out the video I posted yesterday. Was about Zach Edey. It's performing very well. The video before that was with my guy Ernest from Miami Heat Talk. We did a 2-part series on the pros and cons of extending Jimmy. So I got a lot of good content on the channel. Y'all can subscribe, because we're going to keep it coming throughout this offseason. And I just said it, subscribe. We're on the grind to 5K before the start of next season. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to stop yapping. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch, don't offend me.